Good evening, guys. So this is something that me and my guides, when we had our little parent-teacher meeting, because it feels like that. I get my instructions, yeah, what I need to do, what I need to do more, what do I need to do less, etc, etc, etc. So this is going to be called soul truths, yeah, soul truths that are coming from your ancestors, yeah. So that's exactly what we're going to be using, and that's the deck is actually called Soul Truths, okay? So I took these cards. I don't, you know yourselves, I don't often take the cards off camera, but for these I wanted to get in on this energy first, okay, and see what is going on, because this reading will be, you know, it's for a person, probably for many of you actually. Some things will resonate for you, but it's not, I suppose it's not designed to be bits of messages for whoever. It's for one particular person, potentially. Do you know what I mean? Clearly there's going to be more, okay? So I'm going to go to the card at the end, and it says, am I letting fear stop me? So somebody is crippled here with fear, not moving forward, allowing that ego to have so much control over them, allowing that fear, all that negative energy, fear, ego, stopping someone from doing what they need to do. That is the truth of their soul. It's just their soul's calling. Somebody's not answering the call of their soul. And you know, like, you know, I'm just seeing the judgment card, and that's what the judgment card is about in tarot. I'm not doing tarot, by the way, actually. It's about answering that call of your soul, making that decision and making that, answering the call of your soul. Someone here is not doing that. You know yourselves, we don't do what spirit wants. So the card says, are you experiencing a mountain of fear right now? Are you stalling, freezing, or giving up? The juicy secret is that you are the boss. You are the boss of fear. You are unstoppable. But it's up to you to see that by taking action. So that's like somebody is not taking action. Somebody is allowing that fear to have so much power over them when it's only a fucking illusion. So somebody, I don't know, likes to be in illusions, doesn't want to be in reality, doesn't want to face up to their soul's calling, what they're being guided to do, what their ancestors have been encouraging them, and changes and steps that they need to take. But I really want to go to the mindset of this person. Their mindset is not where it should be. It's not where it should be at this stage of the game, I want to say. Somebody should have really should be more awakened, but they're not. You see, you've got many people, you'll see them on Facebook sharing things, they're woke, they're this, they're that and the other. They're not. They're not. They're just really not. Like, they think they are, you know, they think they are, but they're not. Someone who's not fully awakened. And unfortunately what has to happen for an awakening is something very painful. But if that's the only way that somebody's ancestors can get through to them, somebody's going to have some very painful circumstances beyond their control. So things are going to get out of control here, and no, there's nothing somebody can do about it. But that's the universe saying, listen, we got to move you. You've got, this is what you signed up to do, and you're not doing it. You're not answering that call of your soul. You're not awakened. You're walking around like, if you're not awakened and connected to your soul, you're in your fucking ego. Somebody's in the ego here. Fear is all the ego. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody's fucking root chakra is blocked with all this fear. That's just me being honest with you, okay? Because that's what the root chakra will do to you, okay? And when I was looking at this card, I was thinking that is very interesting, okay? So what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships? And that's the thing with people. So many people do not have boundaries in place. They don't have them for themselves, and then they don't see anything of that, of crossing other people's boundaries. They don't seem to even realise what boundaries are, or that they're breaking them. Now, I can get that with my daughter. Oh my God, I'm having awful time boundaries with her. I can understand that with her. She's 12, 13 nearly. But this is not a child. This is not a child. Somebody doesn't have clear boundaries, and because they don't have them for themselves, they think they can cross other people. So somebody really needs to have a look. I know for some people need to start creating boundaries, healthy ones, for your own sake, yeah? Because that's another thing that I have been feeling for the last day or so. Like tomorrow is the full moon in Gemini, so obviously I'm a Gemini sun. Very important time to bring a lot of endings and stuff like this. And what I was thinking was about boundaries that I need to create in my life. Now, clearly I have fucking really strong motherfucking boundaries, but it's creating more boundaries, because what happens when you have cords with other people, they can become negative and toxic without any intention. But if one person is trying to help someone a lot and do more for that person, and the other person is just receiving and taking and give nothing back, there's straight away, that's an energetic imbalance, and it creates a toxic cord. So what I've been doing over the last 2 days has been cutting a lot of cords to people, personal, professional, cutting a lot of cords, and I'm getting ready. I've been about to start writing letters to a lot of people. I'm going to be burning them obviously tomorrow night on the full moon, and I'm going to do a ritual I've just created, to send these people a lot of love, because that's what a lot of people need right now. They need a lot of love. They don't need they don't need negativity. They just need love. God love them. So that's something that you should all think about doing. Thinking about any type of relationship or connection where you're just doing more than you ever receive back. And it's not about you only do something in case you receive back. You should always do it without intention. But when it's continuous, when you're protecting someone, they're not protecting you. When you're giving to someone, they're not giving it to you. When you're, in my case as a healer, when you're healing people on a daily basis, and they wouldn't even, like, not that you're not doing the healing to get healing back, but when you wouldn't even get as much as an acknowledgement or a thank you, it's a bit like saying, here's my boundary, fuck you. Do you know what I mean? So boundaries are just different for us all. Yeah, because we're all very different people. But you've got to look at where you can create boundaries, or who or what situation in your life do you need to create boundaries with. I didn't just cut cords to people. I cut cords to situations. Yeah, I cut cords to situations as well. Okay, so let's get into this one. So boundaries. To create more healthy boundaries, we must first get in tune with our own needs, desires and feelings, and believe we are worthy of them. In your relationship, it's essential to know where they end and where you begin. You see, and this is the thing. Someone has to believe in the worthiness of them. When we separate our energy from others, we gain clarity about what we really want. Then we stop doing things that no longer align with ourselves. If you are an empath, you can still be compassionate. You see, this is exactly, like, I didn't even look at this, but this is exactly what I'm saying. Like, you can still be that compassionate towards other people, but you don't, look, it is safe to trust that you are not here to fix anyone. And I think that's something that I had to really take on board. Yes, I'm a healer. Yes, I can help people. But you know what? You can't continuously keep helping people. They have to be able to help themselves. There's only so much I can do to help people. If they're not willing to help themselves, if they're not willing to be appreciated of my time or my energy, that's just me on a personal level. Just give it up. Just give it up. Yeah? Put that energy back on you. Okay? So that's what somebody really needs to do. Have a long look at themselves. Have a look at their relationships with other people around them. No big fight, don't have to be nasty or anything. But understand, it's like, when this whole scam started in 2020, the thing that got me back down to reality was, it's not my job to fix everyone. It's not my job to awaken everyone. It's not my job. And I had to cut a lot of people go. What I think, it's really powerful, we're in December. I can guarantee there's people I'm not talking to in 2022, and I can guarantee they won't become being a part of my life in 2023. And that's a decision, and it's this decision, and when I even feel into my soul as I tell you this, it's calm. I know it's the correct decision for me, because even as a medium, you'd have other medium friends, they're takers too. They take. They'll message you when they need a reading, or when a family member needs a reading. But when they're never there for you. So you got to cut all these users out. And it feels like the fact that I am bringing that in here, it feels like someone could have a lot of people around them that are just using them and that are taking them. So somebody really needs to create these healthy boundaries. And it's not selfish to create boundaries, because people just keep wanting to take from you. Fuck that shit. Okay, do I know all my strengths and am I using them? So I feel like somebody isn't creating the boundaries, somebody's letting fear, somebody's in a very negative place, somebody feels very strong and powerful, and yet they're acting immobilized and weak, and they're not, because I do feel that someone does have great strengths here, but they're just not using them. We all have superpowers, but it's up to us to uncover them. When we live and lead with our strengths, we're able to show up in our zones of genius. This inspires others to do the same. Ask yourself, how can I use one of my soul's gifts today to contribute to this open and ready world? We all have gifts, guys. They're all different, they come at different stages. We're all unique, and that's the best thing, that we're not all counter-produced. You know what I mean? That we're not counter-produced, that we all have different strengths, different weaknesses, different gifts, different abilities. And it doesn't matter, as long as you're using them. But someone here is not using them. Somebody here is not using them. It's like things are going to waste here with somebody. For sure. Something's going to waste here. Okay. The third card I have is, do I surround myself with people who lift me up? So I feel like no. I feel like whoever we're connected with here is around a lot of people who are just taken, using them, not very uplifting people. There is just a tendency to, don't like it, just get wrecked is what I heard. So like just drink and shit like this. They're not friends. They're not friends. You need to do the best to the people who make you the happiest. Who makes you the happiest? Who's your best friends to be around, who when you leave them you feel fucking good, you don't feel fucking drained? Who are the people that you can rely on, who protect you, who tell you the truth, who have your back in this world? Who are they? Feel like someone, like, because those type of people are your soul tribe. So it feels like somebody's not around their soul tribe of people. They're just around people who, excuse me, like to go out, like to be seen, like whatever. They're not real people. They don't bring anything of substance to somebody's soul. They don't feed your soul. They don't nourish you. They're just hangers on, I want to say. Okay. The people with whom we surround ourselves determine who we become. Oh my God. Does your tribe inspire you? Do they believe in you? Do they help you to step into your greatest potential? And I feel like it's a no to all of these for somebody. Somebody is not around people who inspire them. They don't believe in them. They're just fucking someone to go out with. Someone, you know, I don't know. It's not friends, and there's no growth in somebody. The relationships somebody has with someone else, there's no growth. There's no soul growth. There's no... it's not like your relations have to all be about spirituality either. You know what I mean? I have some friends that, like, good friends that don't really believe in any of the shit I do, but it doesn't come into it. Do you know what I mean? I have one friend at once, he said, fuck, you know, he calls me by my surname anyway. Doesn't ever call me by my first name. He's like, get those cards out and just see what's going on with the sale of my house. So I took the cards out, because I was a bit taken back by him, because he wouldn't be into any of this. And I done a little reading on him, and I'm sure within, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks, everything started happening. He's like, hey, my surname, fucking hell, the day you don't know his cards, it's happening, it's happening. But he hasn't asked me since. But it's okay to have those connections. It is for me, because like that guy in particular wouldn't have a fucking clue really about what I do. Do you know what I mean? That's not our connection. It's nothing got to do with spirituality. But I love him. It's great energy out of him. So, you know, I'm not saying all our relationships have to be spiritual, but it just feels like something is out of balance here. Somebody's completely out of balance. They're not doing anything. The people who are surrounding them are not uplifting them, not inspiring them. You know, they don't see someone's potential. They don't probably even think about what fucking potential is. Do you know what I mean? Okay, the fourth card we have is, am I afraid to be seen? So somebody's definitely hiding back, standing back, not being in that feminine energy, not stepping to the forefront, not being like in that masculine energy and going after what it is that they want, and to be seen and to not give a fuck. Somebody's in a lot of fear about what other people think, or what other people will say. Fuck other people. Somebody, you see, this is the fear in someone's head, where they'd rather care what other people thought of them than being true to their own self and their soul, and what their souls what their souls have agreed to do here, because somebody's not doing what they have agreed to do. And when we don't do what we've agreed to do, like, they're all lessons. Now you could have, say, 5 little minor spiritual lessons and you pass, and then you come to the big one and then you fail. You allow fear to stop you and you fail. Do you know what happens when you fail when you fail a spiritual lesson? You get karma. So I do feel someone's going to be getting karma here for not listening to their true self, for wanting to be in the ego, to be in fear, not creating healthy boundaries, using people and allowing other people to use them too. Just take. So somebody's not giving. There's no balance here at all. The card says, the world doesn't want you to hold back any longer. It's time to shine your unique light on the world. You were made from love, and from love you are whole. There is no more hide, there is no more shame. There is only truth. Live naked and free. And I always say, just be free. You're so entrapped, just be free. That's one of my things I always say. You're not even free. Because when you're free, you don't give a fuck. There's no ego. There's no fear of strapping you back. So someone is like massive ego here that is hiding. They're not living in the truth. They're not free. They're a slave. They're being controlled by the darker energy. But yet they're made from love. And they don't see it. Someone here has a unique light and they're not using it. They're dimming their light. They're not using the light that's within them for the purpose of why they have the light. Like, this is somebody's soul's journey, and they're not using it. They're not doing what they fucking agreed to do here. They're just not. They're just trying to pretend to be something else to fit in with other people who are just, I don't know, good for their ego, good for their social life, for superficial reasons. It's definitely not for anything deep, meaningful and soulful. So somebody's really disconnected from their soul and the true essence of who they're meant to be. They're hiding it. We don't always get these opportunities. Do you understand? It's like, does someone think that, yeah, I can fail this test, for sure I'll get it again? There's a sense here that somebody's taking these spiritual tests and life for granted here. Not one of us can ever take life for granted, because somebody here is not learning. Somebody here is not growing. Somebody here is completely disconnected. Okay, the 5th card we have is, am I ready to let go of this buried shame? So somebody is carrying a lot of guilt and shame, and when we carry guilt and shame, we carry that in the sacral chakra, yeah? And it can clearly got to do with sex, sexual energy, etc, etc. But what happens here, when you have energy at the sacral level, the sacral is our secondary emotional house with energy system within the body, but it stops us from being able to move freely between the feminine and the masculine energy. It makes us be stuck in either one. And I feel like somebody here is very much stuck in the feminine energy because they're afraid, or they're not taking that power. Someone here is not powerful. They're not powerful. Someone's sacral and solar plexus feel really blocked to me. Okay, the feeling of shame is the lowest energy frequency there is. When you live in shame, you live in darkness. What part of you is ready to stand in the light? Is there any shame from your past experience that is ready to be healed? Heal the shame by giving it a name. Bring it to the light and let it be seen, heard and healed. It's revival season. Replace the shame with your soul's truth. And like, that's quite interesting us talking about the sacral chakra, because I do feel that there is a lot of game. I want to say, like, the word was actually going to come out about gay, whether somebody's gay or whether someone's bisexual. What I was feeling though was the shame here that's being held at the sacral level. It's got to do with sex, sexual abuse, someone's sexual energy, slipping between both sexes, whatever. Someone here has a lot of this darkness. That's what it is. Shame is one of the lowest energy frequencies, and is blocking somebody completely up. So why would you want to hold on to any type of shame? You know what I mean? When you live in shame, you live in darkness. Somebody is living in a very dark space when they're meant to be bright, when they're meant to heal the shame, when they're meant to heal maybe any sexual abuse or any issues relating to their sexual energy. Because the sacral is also rules our self-esteem, our self-worth and our confidence and how we feel about it. You know what I mean? Somebody's completely holding on to a lot of toxicity here at the sacral level, and that needs to go. You need to heal it. Like, you really need to heal it, because you're just sitting in a load of fear, not wanting to be seen, not creating boundaries, living up in some materialistic, I don't know, Instagram fucking life, like, or what, like put up pictures and let people, this is my fucking life. And this is your life. This is the truth. You're sitting in a load of fear here. You've got a load of shame related to sexual abuse or something from your fucking childhood that's destroying you and blocking your creativity, might I add. You're afraid to be seen. You're around toxic. You're living a life that is not in alignment to who you are. So something has to give here. What do I resist feeling right now? We have to feel it to heal it. You say, I just said it, you gotta heal it. In order to let go of pain, we first have to honour its existence. So we can't forget if we've been abused or anything like that. You've got to see it. You've got to recognise it for what it is. Then you can let it go. But it's the ones that are walking around pretending that this didn't happen when you know it happened. That's not healing with it. That's not dealing with it. And that's certainly not letting go of it. And negative energy is so heavy in the body. So heavy. We have to feel it to heal it. In order to let go of pain, we first have to honour its existence. Emotions are like waves. Some are soft, some are fierce, some are layered, and some will sweep you off your feet. When we allow ourselves to feel it all, we can then release what no longer serves us. So there's nobody here can actually say that this energy is serving them. It's not serving any. It wouldn't serve it. Not one soul would it serve. Okay. No matter how long it takes, you've got to get through this. You've got to release it. You've got to feel it. You've got to heal it. You've got to enjoy the freedom from within your own soul once it's gone. And that's what will happen. Then you will feel lighter. Then you will be becoming more aligned into your true soul self and who and what you're meant to be. Because we can all experience things in life. But those experiences don't have to stop us or hold us back. But somebody has allowed this to hold them back. Not consciously, probably. Unconsciously allowed this to hold them back, and they're very much stuck in their life. Somebody's ancestors here want them to look at this, to look at it, look at their life, look at their relationships with their friends, maybe even a sexual relationship, whatever. It could be different for all of you. Something needs to change, something needs to heal. You need to get out of this fear-based energy. I do feel like, given the fact that I said it about people need to be cut off here. People that are not serving your highest good, who don't propel you forward, who don't uplift you, who don't inspire you, who don't bring anything of real substance to who you truly are, need to go. Yeah? That's what needs to happen here. Okay, so I don't know who needs to hear this, but that is your soul truth from your ancestors. It's time to shine, I want to say. It's time to heal, let go, and it's time to shine. Okay? So guys, I'm going to leave it there with you. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Looking for a private reading. It's all down below. Guys, take care. I'll see you in the morning.